Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. It's been another busy week in Bulldog sports. Today, we'll talk Bulldog football, we'll check in with the Ferris State women's volleyball team, and we'll discuss women's golf action. First up, head coach Jeff Pierce of the Bulldog football team. Coach, thanks for being with us again.
Yeah, great to be here.
Bulldogs had an impressive performance this past Saturday, a 35-13 win over Ohio Dominican at Top Tiger Field. Talk about your performance in this past Saturday's ball game.
Well, we're making progress. You know, at the beginning of the season, you're really not sure exactly where you are until you get an opportunity to match yourself up against some other football teams. And Ohio Dominican is a good football team that came in here, and they were 2-0 and pretty handily beat Northwood the past week. And we really wanted to kind of find out where that would match up physically, and it was exciting. You know, I think we got a real good football team, and it was also good to see the attitude that we played with. And you know, we have very high expectations, and we'd love to be able to play at the end of the football season in the playoffs and things like that, and that's always what our intentions are. It's sometimes very difficult to get there, but you have to have an attitude, you know, when you get into ball games like that, and you know, really challenge our guys at halftime, you know, that we got to come out just smoking. And we tried to score right at the end of the half and really put the pressure on them, and we're able to get on the board. And at that point, we wanted to come out in the second half and really establish ourselves. And you've got to be able to dominate people. You let them back in a football game, then you got your hands full, and we were able to do that.
Your offense really had a breakout game, rolled up 617 yards of total offense. Talk about the play of the offense with Tom Schneider leading the way.
Well, the nice thing about it is, you know, and Tom's been doing a great job managing our offense. I mean, he throws the ball where it needs to be thrown. You know, he's really come along, you know, it being his senior year right now, he's really in his groove. And, you know, the nice thing about it is, like you said, we had over 600 yards offense, and, you know, there's about 300 of each, you know, in rushing and also in passing the football. And I believe we had 9 different guys catch footballs, and I think we had 9 different guys carry footballs during the course of the game. So we're really able to balance it out quite well, and you know, try to spread the field. And I think that became very challenging for Ohio Dominican, because we, you know, they really tried to stop us running the ball inside, and then we were able to get outside on them on sweeps. And then, you know, with them trying to pound us in the middle a lot, you know, all of a sudden, you know, we'd come right over top of them with play actions and hit a couple big ones there. So, you know, it's really nice to see the confidence that our kids are playing with that. The disappointing thing is we got to put the ball in the end zone and the red zone when we get down in there.
I know we have some highlights from this past Saturday's game, and really started from the opening kickoff. Your team was able to force a fumble on the opening kickoff of the game, and you didn't take advantage that time, but the next time you did, on the ensuing possession.
Yeah, early in the ball game, you know, we had, you know, the guys came out and played hard. You know, our defense, as you see here on the screen, I mean, they did a really nice job. You know, we're kind of stingy. You know, I'm an old defensive coordinator, and I don't want anybody to get in the end zone against us. And that, you know, it did happen later on in the ball game, but the guys played very well. You see a little action, you know, here, guys swarm into the football, and that's the one thing that I think we really have, is the team speed that we have is really a plus for us.
Victor Beaudry, freshman kicker, we just saw kick a field goal, and he came on, had a big game, tied a school record with 5 field goals. GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week, really a great performance in his collegiate debut.
Yeah, that was great to see. You know, Victor was a young man that we thought very highly in the recruiting process, and was really the guy that we wanted to bring into our program. And he had his debut, and he hit 5 field goals, and you know, he actually tied the school record with his coach. Doc Proctor was an All-American kicker for us that has been helping with our kickers and punters, and you know, Victor had a great night, and it really helped us, because down in the red zone we needed points, and every time we were in the red zone we came away with points, and that's huge.
Tom Schneider leading the way for the offense, second straight game with 300+ passing yards. Talk about how he's been playing at the quarterback position.
You know, he's really managing it quite well. I mean, he knows where to put the football, you know, and that's the thing about it, you know, and he's also responsible to make sure the protection in front of him is correct, and when he sees certain things coming at him, he's able to make those kind of adjustments, you know, for the offensive line to pick up. And then he knows where to go, and I mean, he's throwing high percentage throws. It's not just like, hey, let's throw it over to this guy. He's really doing a nice job reading the defense, and and putting the ball where it needs to be put. And a lot of those situations are short passes, and that's what we're going to do. And the nice thing about it is our guys have done a great job this year, and we need to continue to do it with yards after catch, and now we're really kind of taking our game to the next step, and we weren't getting that type of thing last year from these kids.
Ohio Dominican was a team that was unbeaten coming into the ball game, and talk about the confidence boost for your kids maybe in being able to beat a team in that dominating fashion.
Well, like I said earlier in the show, I mean, that's such a critical thing because every week you're going to get challenged, and every one of these football teams are good football teams, but you have to have that killer instinct, I mean, it's either you or them, and we got into that ball game, and they're a better football team than they were last year, and we went right down to the ropes with them, but we're a better football team, and that's what that confidence that we're trying to gain, within our guys early on in the football season, and then once you get going, you got to keep the gas pedal right down, you got to keep it full throttle, and that's the nice thing that we saw, and a good example is to finish, In the last quarter of the football game, we controlled the football for 12 minutes out of the last quarter. And a lot of that was with young players. And those young players got an opportunity to play. And they marched it right down the field and scored, And it's not that we were trying to rack up points or anything like that, but we wanted those young guys to get out there and perform. And, it was nice to see that happen.
This week you turn your attention to the Tiffin Dragons back on the road. Head to Tiffin, Ohio. First time you've been there since 2008, but the last time you were down there, it was a dogfight.
Oh yeah, I mean that's they're struggling a little bit at the beginning of the season, but they're all good football teams, and they have a new head football coach, and he took over their program and is really trying to make it happen. They've got good athletes down there, so it's very important for our guys to take every one of these weekends very seriously, and that's what we concentrate. We concentrate 1 week at a time. I don't care what's happening with other teams and where the standings are. I don't even look at those kind of things. It's about us getting ready to beat Tiffin.
The Bulldogs will be back at home in 2 weeks, Hall of Fame game, and I know a chance for your team and your program to welcome back an inductee this year in Clarence Coleman, one of the top receivers all time in Division II history.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have Clarence back on campus. I mean, he really lit it up here for 4 years, ended up leaving second in the history of college football in receptions, and went on and had a career, bounced around in professional football a little bit, and it'll be nice to see him back.
Well, Coach, thanks for being with us here today, and best of luck this week down at Tiffin.
Thanks for having us.
When we come back, we'll talk with Ferris State volleyball coach Tia Brando-Wilhelm. Stay with us on Ferris Sports Update.